welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Review. I am here, David Allen, or if you like, Super Dave, and I am here with our friend of the channel, Mason Rules. Thank you for joining us, or I should say 610 Yojo Daddy, not Mason Rules. I apologize for that.
That's all right, man.
I was just talking about that, so it kind of slipped my mind, but thank you for joining us. It's awesome to have you on the live stream with us instead of in the chat. You're always very cool in the chat and giving us information, helping us out, and it's awesome to have you here with us live.
Well, you've got a great, genuine show, Dave, and just proud to be here and be a part of it, man. And congratulations on, is it 200 now?
It's 200 subs. Actually, it's a little over 200 subs and 250 episodes since I've started this channel on YouTube. And that's a lot of episodes. I know there.
Yes, that's a lot of work right there.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that have done YouTube channels and YouTube shows for quite a long time, and they just hit that mark themselves after 4 and 5 years. So we've been very busy this year, year and a half or so with this, trying to do a lot of things for the channel. And I'm very, very thankful to everybody that has contributed to the channel. I don't have like this huge community. I have a nice group of people that are cool and contribute and add to the conversation, which I like a lot. I don't need like thousands and thousands of people because you can't keep track. You won't be able to talk to everybody and get to know everybody and get them involved the way that you guys are involved in my channel. It's better, I think.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Love the smaller community, get to know everybody a little bit better. You had my buddy Woody on the other day. He's a great guy, a great example of the community. And I'm just glad to be here and enjoy this today.
So let's say hi to some people in the chat. Hello, everybody in the chat. Crusty Old Crow, thank you for joining us. Congrats on 200, David. Thank you. I appreciate it. And then we have Clement from South Africa. Hello, good morning, Clement.
What's up, Clement?
Clement's always in the video. He doesn't say too much, but he's always here to give me the support, and he'll ask me questions and stuff like that. Clement, this is going to be an episode for you because we're doing our top 10 favorite G.I. Joe vehicles of all time. So there's going to be some really cool vehicles for you to check out with this video. Just by looking at all the stuff behind me, Clement, you'll see some of that's going to be really cool. And I'm sure 610 Yojo Daddy's going to have some really cool stuff as well. Are you looking forward to it?
Yes, man. I've spent quite a bit of time last evening narrowing down my list. It was a lot harder than I thought it'd be to narrow it down to just 10 vehicles, both Cobra and Joe, and that's a tough task.
It is, because if you think of all the vehicles that have come out in G.I. Joe in the 60 going on 63 years now, and I'm including like vintage 12-inch Joes, they had a lot of vehicles as well. So obviously I didn't pick any of those because that's not my generation. But from then till now, imagine all the vehicles. This is intended to be a vehicle line. When Kurt Busiek has come out and said this on 2 or 3 of his podcasts and interviews and panels that he's done over the years, discussions, this was not intended to be a G.I. Joe figure line. It was a vehicle line when they relaunched it in 1982. And the figures took it over, and it's now become more important because the characters and the histories of the characters and the factions of the characters and all that stuff. So I find that interesting that it was originally a vehicle line and they had to pivot and shift gears.
I think Kurt also said around that same interview, I think he said that most of the money that was to be made was made off of vehicles as opposed to the figures. Figures actually took a loss at times to get that money back from the vehicles.
Yeah, you're right. Because if you look at a lot of the old photos that people share on different places like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they're showing these old videos and old photos of Toys R Us and different places. And the aisle is covered from one side to the other with vehicle boxes. And they were a lot cheaper actually back
Yeah.
then than you would think. Like my
Oh
favorite
yeah.
all time is like was only $16, and it's a huge vehicle, and when I show it off you'll be like,
Yeah.
what was $16? But back then when you're trying to like mow lawns and do odd jobs around your house to get stuff that you want as a child, $16 seems like a lot of money when your mom and dad are only giving you a dollar here, 50 cents there, whatever.
Heck yeah.
And I had to get a part-time job when I was a young kid, and it was like $5 a day on the weekends at a flea market, and I could buy a lot of comics and toys with that $5. Trust me. Um, but
Yeah, I actually started a lawn mowing business when I was living in Canada. For I had 10 different houses, and I'd get $10 a pop. Of course, stuff was more expensive up in Canada, but dude, that $100 was gone on toys and comics before I could turn my head.
yeah, it goes quickly, and when you're young, you have so much you want to do, and it takes up a lot of space when you're trying to buy comics, buy toys, and there's 4 or 5 different toy lines that were coming out in the '80s that I really wanted, but I could only focus really on one. I started earlier with Star Wars and Masters, then when GI Joe came out, I pivoted to GI Joe and just focused on GI Joe. But I did have some Masters and I did have some Star Wars earlier than that, because I'm a little bit older than the most of the crowd. I'm 52 now, and so being born in the early 70s, I had the opportunity to get Star Wars and Masters before GI Joe, whereas a lot of the kids didn't start till GI Joe in like 82, 83,
Right.
and stuff like that, or even later
Yeah.
than that, 86, 88, 89.
Well, being a 78 baby, I started out with Star Wars. That was my main focus when I was a little kid, and then drifted a little into Motu. And then after that, interesting tidbit about Joe is in '83, my nephew or my cousin, he had outgrown toys, and he had the entire '82 run, including the vehicles, accessories, little side packs, all of it. And I got them handed down to me in the family, and that is where my Joe love began.
Ah, so you had some siblings and family members that passed it down to you. My older siblings were sisters, so I had 2 older sisters, so they weren't passing me anything unless they were passing me Barbie or something like that. So I was the oldest of my 3 brothers, because I'm older than my twin brother by 2 minutes. But he and I hung out and did most of our collecting together. And then my little brother was several years younger, so he was out of that. He was into gaming and all that when Nintendo and Atari and all that. That was his
Right.
thing. That so he was that generation. But it's interesting to see where people come from their collecting and how they get into these type of things and stuff like that. But we're gonna get into some fun stuff. Clement, we got some really cool vehicles coming up. You're going to see what our favorite vehicles are as we go through this video. Stay tuned. And then I want to say hello to Paul Marsh Morales for joining us in the chat. That's a new name in the chat.
What's up, Paul Morales?
Thanks for joining us. So we are going to do, because this is the G.I. Joe New News Review, we are going to do a review. We're kind of jumping a little bit ahead because this video is a little bit out of order from our normal numbering. If you guys know how we do these videos, we usually start with the 00 Snake Eyes, and we've gone up and followed the numbering all the ways up, but we're skipping a couple of numbers, and I'll go back to those numbers, but I wanted to do this because it's top 10 vehicles of our favorite vehicles. I wanted to do a review that had a vehicle in it. So that's what we're going to do in this video, review of a vehicle. Crustio Crow, thanks for joining us. Good morning.
What's up, Crow?
Father Son Galaxy, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Awesome. Awesome. Father Son Galaxy's good people too.
Yeah, he's a new guy in the chat. Thanks for joining us. If you guys are not members of the channel, please subscribe, hit the notification, and join us in future videos and keep that notification for that. We appreciate your being here. So we're going to go into our review, and you chime in when as I go through this.
Yes, sir.
610 Yojo Daddy. So this is an interesting vehicle because it is a vehicle that comes with a figure that has a very interesting history. It's a Tiger Force vehicle. It is going to be the Tiger Force Tiger Paw with wreckage. And this is going to have a very interesting history behind it. And this is 137 in the numbering if you're paying attention to these videos for the numbering and watching them in order. So, Tiger Force, Dan Klingensmith's series of books again. Creating G.I. Joe, The Real American Hero by Dan Klingensmith. This is volume 9. And so I'm going to go into a little bit of the history here and then talk about wreckage because he has a very unique history. And if you have any thing you want to add, just speak up, okay?
Sure will, Dave.
Tiger Force, alternate names, NA, year release 1988, 1989, designed by various designers. When Greg Bernstein saw a picture of a German Tornado fighter jet painted for NATO's Tiger Meet, an event where NATO air forces work together and perform different exercises and share tactics, he custom painted an existing Sky Striker jet with a similar deco and presented it to marketing with the idea that G.I. Joe should be part of this annual event. When marketing saw it, they loved the idea and wanted to build an entire segment around the concept of Tiger Force. Now you can see
that's the part of Joe I love.
The history.
That's the part of Joe I love the most is the actual history. Yeah, and can you imagine if we'd have gotten that Sky Striker in Tiger Force?
It would be a dream come true. And that's one of those things. Maybe they could do a HasLab Tiger or a HasLab Sky Striker and then do a Tiger Force version of that like we've never gotten before. That would be an item we never, ever got.
That would be amazing. Yeah, that would be amazing.
So there's a couple of different things on the logo, ideations on the logo, and then the logo down there and Tiger Force up there. So there's a picture over here by the Tiger Force tripwire. It's going to be hard to see in this video, but that is a picture of the Sears catalog offerings for I think 1988. One of the offerings was Tiger Force, and in that offering there's a picture of Tiger Force Recondo, Tiger Force Duke, Tiger Force Lifeline, Roadblock, Dusty. And then there's another character, and in that picture, he was originally called Sabretooth, but then they did him as a 2000s figure and they called him Wreckage in a Tiger Force set. I actually have that set. I should have brought it out, but I forgot. That's why I told you trying to figure out all this stuff for these videos is a little nerve-wracking trying to get everything. But
right is the reason they changed that name due to the Marvel licenses of Sabretooth?
Probably. I think I've heard that it was too close, and so they must have did a copyright strike or something like that on it, and so they changed it, or they never released it. Because if you look at that figure, you can hardly see it, so small, but it's a Firefly mold. So that's the Firefly, and the idea.
Right.
The idea behind doing these redeco factions was to get figures that were out of the stores that had already passed their time, their life cycle, and they were bringing them back in new decos. But that was a new character that was added, Sabretooth. All the other ones, Recondo, Duke, Lifeline, Roadblock, and Dusty, they had already passed their life cycle, and so they were redecoing them. So Sabretooth was a brand new character. And there are new characters in the Tiger Force line. There's a character, his name is actually called Sky Striker, and he was with, I believe, the rat, the tiger rat. So
The
they have new
Rattler,
characters. Right, exactly.
Tiger Rat.
Tiger Rat, exactly. So I didn't bring that other set out, but Super 7 have been doing a lot of deep cuts and homages to old stuff, foreign stuff, weird redecos and stuff like that. Let's see. Crusty Crow. Yes, Marvel Sabretooth was a license issue. I read that a while back too. There you go. I love how the chat helps us out. So Super 7 did a redeco of a Firefly figure that they had made, and they did Sabretooth. They did not do Wreckage. And so they even did the file card as a bit of an animated style. When they do all their file cards, they make it animated, which is very unique because this character never appeared in Sunbow animation or DiC animation, to my knowledge. And so let's read a little bit about this character because we never got this character. We did get a 2000s one, but he was called Wreckage in that set. Codename Sabretooth, file name classified, mission equipment classified, birthplace classified. Coming to us fresh from a stint with October Guard, Sabretooth never officially joined the Joes, but his influences is unmistakable. Some claim that he hand-selected the original Tiger Force members, but declined to lead the team, passing the responsibility to Conrad Duke Hauser. Very interesting there. Sabretooth is always available for the right price, which as far as G.I. Joe is concerned, is a price that is always worth it for his expertise and efficiency. When you have him gunning for you, all those extra zeros are worth it. Very interesting. So that's a whole history we never had for this character. So I'm very...
Yeah, I never knew any of that.
Yep. So that's all new information. Then we're going to go to the next book, and that is Carson Metaxas' book, Creating the Art of G.I. Joe. And let's see, Tiger Force. This is Collecting the Art of G.I. Joe, Volume 4, 1988 through 1989, but Art Carson Metaxas and 3D Joes. So then we have all the lineup for the 1988 line plan, and Sabretooth / Wreckage was not in there, so he was cut. They did add, if you notice, Bazooka, who was not in that Sears ad that I showed. So they swapped him out for a Bazooka Tiger Force. So he was not originally in that. So then next we have G.I. Joe Special Missions number 25, the very first appearance of Tiger Force. It's a little bit different than the Tiger Force that we've gotten to know over the years because they were a separate special unit to kind of help out indigenous peoples or refugees in other countries. They were more of a kind of a rescue organization that would go in and help these countries out. That's how it was portrayed in G.I. Joe Special Missions. Father-Son Galaxy, a for-hire Joe would have led to some cool stories. Yeah, it would have, I think.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that'd been cool.
So then we have the ferret, the vintage ferret, Tiger Paw. I believe this is the Tiger Paw.
Yeah, Tiger Paw.
Yeah. So my vintage one is not complete. I'm missing some missiles, and I'm missing that little black part there. I usually just get these the best that I can find them. I'm not like a mint complete person when I collect. Some people are, but everybody collects differently. What is
to each their own, man.
What's your collecting preference?
Well, here's what I've gotten down to. I let a lot of my retro stuff went to the wayside when I started into classified to help fund that. But right now I am mainly focused on classified. My boys are very much retro. They and not just Joe, just anything they can get their hands on that tweaks their interest. You know what I mean? And But like I said, I'm a completionist in classified. GI Joe was what built me, and I'm caught up right now. Thank God. I'm sure we're going to get hit with another dump eventually next year at some point where you just want to pull your hair out, but that's part of the game, you know. But they do Transformers, they do Marvel Legends a little bit, they do Battle Beasts, they do TMNT, they do Hot Wheels. I mean, they're into a little bit of everything.
Well, that's good, because you don't know where your fandom's going to lie. It's good to touch on different things. Both of us did the same thing when we were younger. We both were Star Wars, Motu, G.I. Joe fans. And I'm sure we looked at other stuff like Mask and Thundercats and Silverhawks and all that type of stuff too as we were younger. But obviously, both of us, G.I. Joe resonated with us and stuck with us over the decades.
Yeah, that's what the neighbor kids were for. Was so you could go play Silverhawks down the road over this side, and you go over here and play some Thundercats. I mean, that was the beauty of the '80s.
Yep, every friend had a different thing, and you
that's
had
right.
something that they didn't have. I had a friend down the road that had the flag. I would just bring my Joes over to his house, and we'd put it on his flag. So I love this deco on this. It always struck me when these came out, and I was kind of starting to fall off in '88 when the Tiger Force came out. But when I saw that, I was like, "Holy cow, those look awesome!" Yeah, they're redecos of the old ones, but they look really cool, and the vehicles look really cool. What do you think about Tiger Force? Do you think it's a really cool deco?
I do. I came into the line like personally physically collecting around '83, and I missed a lot of things because we had one Walmart in town. We lived in a small town, and I had never been able to find Flint. And when Tiger Force hit and that Tiger Force Flint showed up, I busted out the wallet as quick as I could to get that thing because I had never had a Flint in my collection. I had wanted one all that time. The new deco, I was like, "What is this, man?" I was like, "I got to get some of this stuff, man." And luckily, Santa was good that year and brought the Tiger Rat and the Tiger Fly both to the house that morning.
Wow, very good. So you got some Recondo Tiger Force, and then I guess it would be Sky Striker because it was the Rat.
Sky Striker. Yeah.
Yep. Very cool. So now we're going to get into the classified wreckage with the Tiger Paw. We're going to open this up, put this together, and then we're going to get into our top 10 vehicles that we love. So do you open up all your classified stuff, 610?
Yes, I do. We are completionists, but we are out of box completionists. I know this is going to sound crazy, but I save every little bit of the boxing and packaging, and I fold it down and put it away in a Rubbermaid tote and call it a day. But some of my figures, like if I've got multiples or something, I do use the in package for display if I've got multiples or something like that.
Oh, cool. Morning, Sean Jones. Thanks for joining the chat.
What's up, Sean Jones?
So let's go into a little bit of this now. So it's 137. You can see that wreckage on there, and that is a lot more grislier, a lot more creepy than the original version that we've seen. And I was like, what are they doing? They're really classifying this guy up and making him a lot more gruesome than I anticipated when they advertised this, because we didn't know what we were going to get because you couldn't see a lot of the artwork on it. Right. We were like, oh, it's probably going to be wreckage or Sabretooth.
In the words of Lenny. In the words of Lenny, got really zhuzhed up on that one.
Oh yeah, definitely zhuzhed up. There's no doubt about it. So we have the photography artwork there of wreckage and the Tiger Paw, and we got the Tiger Force logo. We got this burning building back there. So he comes in, and when they need a special touch to eliminate somebody, he comes in and blows them up. So that makes sense that they would use a Firefly mold to do this character, because that's kind of like a Firefly saboteur type of character. Then we have
Love it.
the render in the back with the vehicle, the figure with all of his accessories, a couple of call outs there. And then we have the Target artwork. We have the QR code to nowhere, which is stupid that QR code can't do something. But
Such a waste. We could have had file cards. I mean, why not just put a little extra effort in? Let's go, Hasbro. I love you, but come on, man.
I know, because they're not putting the file cards on the box. So that's the perfect way to do that and to show some of these logos, show what they mean, show their history, the character's history. I don't understand why they did it at the beginning, but then it just, after a certain amount of time, it fell off. And then they started to do those file cards last year, a few here and there, and then they stopped that as well. So I don't know what's going on. But then we have the designations. So we're going to go into the designations, see if we can figure out what this guy's skills are. Let's see. Oops. I just knocked over all my stuff. Get back up there. All right. So he has on him, he's got I think it's a jungle designation environment. Yeah, he has environmental specialist jungle. He's got the I think the one with the file classified. He also has the what's the other one? He's got the ammunition, like, so that is the explosives. And then he has, I can't tell what that other one is. It's jungle combat. So he got jungle specialist and jungle combat. So he's got two jungle ones.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool. Let's see. So now we're going to get him out of his package. We're going to get him put together really quick because we put the ferret together a while ago. So it shouldn't take us that long to put this together, I don't think. I want to get to
it's pretty easy one to put together.
Yep. And I just dropped all my stuff. That's the fun thing about these videos. I drop stuff almost every video.
Yeah. But that's real. You know, that's what gives it that touch.
Yeah. A lot of people, they do the a lot of the videos they edit and stuff. I hate editing.
Yeah.
As you know.
Yeah, editing is a pain in the butt.
I just, if it's not something that's astronomically bad, I'll just leave it in.
Yeah. Yeah, my channel's more guerrilla style. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm just now learning a lot, just now getting things going. So, but it's been fun doing it, man.
Well, it's one of those things. If you're not big into technology and that's not your like forte, this can be a little bit slow and go. You know, it's taken me this long because I was doing interviews and stuff on Facebook for years, and then I was doing interviews in person at conventions and events and signings and things like that before Facebook. So I am a very like to change. I don't like to change that often because I'm an old guy. I may not look old, but I am. And so it's a lot tougher for me to change.
We get set in our ways, man.
Well, and
who we are.
I know a lot of the community, and they've been very, very good to me about giving me ideas and giving me criticisms and critiques and things like that. And they were all telling me, David, you really need to be on YouTube. And they're like, because you do really good interviews, you do really good content, but you know, when you're on Facebook, it kind of gets buried after the first guy comes in there, and then that's it, you know, then it keeps going like that. And so not a lot of people see the content. So they were like, you need to be on YouTube. And so that was the theory behind it. And I was like, because I had 3 or 4 people tell me that. I was like, that makes sense.
Well, I can promise you this, Dave. If you made one good choice and decision, it was to go ahead and do that, because with your personality and your realness, man, I love coming over here to get just a regular dose of the community and everybody hanging out, chilling. It's great, man, and it's a great escape for me. Like, I'll be at work and just sitting there watching and talking with y'all and everything, and feel like I'm 1,000 miles away from what I'm doing. And that's just due to the realness of your show. And guys, if you are in the chat and you haven't subscribed to this guy, this is the man right here. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and smash that like for us. And I'll let Dave take back over with his review on the Tiger Paw.
Oh, that's fine, because I need to kill some time, because this is taking me a little bit of time to get everything out of here. I dropped
All right.
I dropped one of my wheels down there. Now I got to go pick it up, but I got to get the other one out first before I can get it. So it's trickier. I have all this stuff.
Yeah, you might as well do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm staring across the room at my Tiger Paw right now, and because the way I've got my setup is half my shelves are on one side and half on the other, and but yeah, I've got a Tiger Force shelf that I'm really proud of, because I did a lot of Ross chases quite a while back when Duke and the Ram were showing up at Ross, and I ended up picking up, I believe, 5 of them. And I have, because of that, I've got the majority of Tiger Force on Rams, and I've got Wreckage and the Tiger Paw leading the way there in the display itself. And man, you couldn't beat the deal on those Duke Rams though. So I had to jump on those, and I've actually used that Duke body itself to do a couple customs here and there.
Well, that's the good thing about a lot of this stuff that you can find. You can do customs of it. That is not my forte. I cannot do custom. I've done some with the help of Assembly Required when I've gone there, because I've gotten a class. There's a class. Kobe is the teacher there, and Alex Bainter and several other people, and they've helped me do customs there.
Right.
So I've done 3 or 4 customs. And so I kind of vicariously lived through other people's customs, because that's not my forte. But I love it. I think it's really cool. I got to go get this wheel that fell over here. I'll be right back.
Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead. Do your thing, man. Do what you got to do. But yeah, I totally agree. Well, I take it back a little bit. I said I customize, but I'll just say I kit bash. How about that? Because it's more of a kit bash situation myself. Because even though I paint and I'm an artist and draw and stuff like that, I really don't trust myself painting on plastic.
Well, and that's the thing, because I have a nervous disorder, and people have heard me talk about it. Tremors. I cannot paint for the life of me. I can barely write my name or whatever. And so whenever people see me in these videos, thankfully no one's ever said anything nasty or anything bad about it, but I do. It's hard. It creates a situation for me, so I can't do it. As I get older, it gets worse and worse. So let's see.
Well, a little bit about myself on that. I shake too as well. It's not as evident or anything, but mine is, I'm a 14-year recovering drug addict, and I did a lot of nerve damage when I was in that world, and I had to pay the price for it here now down the road. But man, I'm just glad to be here, glad to be alive, and been raising my kids by myself for those 14 years, and loving every minute I get.
Well, congratulations that you're recovering and you're out of that, and you're supporting your family, and you're doing a great job. I think you're awesome. So you should be proud of that you have 3 children and you're taking care of them on your salary and stuff like that, and you're being responsible and doing what you need to do as a dad. I am not a dad, unfortunately. I would love to be a dad, but I'm not. And I will never, ever take anything away from fathers out there, because it's a very unrewarding job in most cases.
Yeah, to be honest, and I'm not trying to say this bragging or anything, but I was blessed in the fact that I got custody of the kids because their mother at the time had not gotten their life straightened out, and so I've been raising them by myself without any help from her end all this time. But to be able to be mom and dad at the same time, that's why I actually chose the handle 6'10". I mean, that's my height. People have always recognized me for that. So, and wanted to know how tall I was every time. So I figured I'd throw that in first. It's Yo Joe or nothing for me. And then the daddy part, that's who I am, and that's what I've done these past 14 years, and I've loved every minute of it. And it may seem unrewarding at times, but dude, the benefits and the blessings you get from it, man, it's amazing.
Yep. I've talked about my dad before. I lost him this year, and our generation.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Well, it's part of life. We're all going to end up having to deal with these situations as we go through life and
That's
stuff
right.
like that. But my dad, he was several generations removed from us. He had us very late in life. He had us in his late 30s. So by the time we got to a point where we could do things with dad, he was in his 50s, and so he couldn't play ball with us. He couldn't do a lot of the stuff that dads do with their young children and stuff like that. So that's why a lot of the stuff like G.I. Joe and comics things I got into, and it kind of leaned into that, and that kind of shaped me and who I was as a young person, and to a certain extent now and stuff. But he always made sure we had a roof over our head, we had food on our table, that he took care of us, made sure we had good education and schooling and things like that. If we had to go to the doctor, he drove us to the doctor. He brought us to the doctor. Sometimes he would bring us in blizzards. I remember my dad brought me to a doctor up in New Hampshire, like a little bit northern New Hampshire, and there was a blizzard, and it was horrendous trying to drive in that. We kept skidding off the road, but we made it to the doctor and back in one piece, and he made sure I was safe and stuff. So the important stuff, he did all the important things. Yeah, I didn't have him to play games with or hang out with and do the things that I wanted to do as a child, but he did the most important parts, and I respect him for that. And so very glad that I had him. He lived quite a long life, 86 years, so he had a good life.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
Definitely. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, bud. I'm good.
Wreckage and Tiger Paw. We have another weapons crate. We haven't had a weapons crate in a while, and this is 137 Stars and Stripes, and we got the package out. G.I. Joe Cobra package. And we also have the directions. I very seldom use the directions to build this stuff, but I had the directions this time. And I'm like trying to put these things get together, and I'm like, it would be nice if I had directions, and they give you the directions, and I never use them. It's weird. So I put all the tires on.
I know the feeling.
There's some beautiful decos on this. Obviously, they changed up the tiger growl face and made it on the front, and it's a little bit more brown. So the deco is a little bit slightly darker than the vintage one. The vintage one's a little bit brighter with the deco if you look at the two of them. So they changed that up a little bit. There's a tampo over here on the seat that has G.I. Joe right there. There's also another tampo on this seat that has G.I. Joe or Tiger Force. There, you can hardly see it through that grate. And then there's a little U.S. flag there as well. There's some nice light decos there and some deco on the front of it with some different tampos. They have the little bitty eyes there. You can kind of see them on the side there, those little eyes. Whereas the other one, the eyes were in the front. So they changed that up slightly from this one to that one. I'm not sure why they changed that, but if you can see, the eyes there are in the front. They're slightly different.
Yeah.
So they updated this a
I
little.
actually, I think I like I like the OG paint scheme just a little bit better. I don't know why, but I do.
Yeah, I think I'm with you so far on that because I don't know. That original color scheme is a lot more cooler, in my opinion. But they're gonna end
Yeah.
up doing their thing. They want to put their stamp on it, the classified team and everything. But so it's fine.
Yep.
Then we get this little guy that goes in there. There. And then we have the missiles. I do kind of like the missiles, the way that they have the missiles a little bit different on this. I like this setup better. Let's see. There's a little toe thing that goes in the front here. If I can get it on there. Let's see how that goes. It goes like that. Toe thing. Does that look right? Let me look at my
I
instructions.
can't quite see it.
Yeah, I got it right. That's correct. All right.
Good deal. I'm gonna grab mine from across the room real quick.
Sure. What else is in here? Got this. What is this? Let's see. Oh, that's down there. So I did make a mistake on that. There's a little bitty grate that goes in the front there, and
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
you have to put the little post through that in there, and then that hooks to there. So then you have two parts on there together. So that is the winch. The winch ties into the front there as a two-part piece. There it is. Now I got it in. All right. So I put those two parts in there, the winch and that grate on the front. And then I'm trying to find the two missile things. I liked how they did the missile things better on these ferrets, the newer ferrets, because the older ones, they look like they're a little more flimsy. You look at that's the only part of the vintage one that I don't care for is those missile little things there on the side. I don't know what they're called, missile harnesses. That's the only part.
Yeah, they look like they break easy on the Advantage.
Exactly. That's why I don't like them because they look like they break. So these ones on this the classified is a little bit sturdier. When you put these in there, it looks like it's going to hold a lot more weight. So I'm putting those on there, and so they're a little bit larger. They stick out a little bit longer there. I don't know if you can tell.
Oh, and one warning on wreckage, Dave. When you get to his accessories, just don't lose your microphone.
Oh, the microphone. I hate it when they give stuff like that. They're so small that you can't keep track of.
I know, right?
The vintage line, that's why I'm not a completist, because the vintage line, there's so many little things like that, air tubes and batons and microphones that you can never get them. They cost a fortune to get all that stuff. So I'm not going to kill myself trying to complete stuff. If I get it, then I get it. If I don't, I don't, All right. So then everything else in here looks like is accessories for wreckage, which I'm going to make sure what all this stuff is here. All right. I think I got everything out of that bag. Yeah, that review. All right, so that is done. Now let's see. What is all this stuff? Oh, that's claw. Let's see where these. That's part of the missile, I should say the laser gun or whatever you call this. The on the back.
Yeah, where it attaches.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that out of there if I can open this up. Let's see. Put this here. Let's see. What did I say? Get that out of there. They did redeco this slightly. The vintage one was, and they changed the placement of the vintage one to the classified one as well, the laser gun. So if you look at the laser gun on this one, it's all red, right? But this one, they did some red and some black, and it's got a bigger handle, so you can remove it, and someone could hold this, like rock and roll or somebody like that could hold it. So they made it a little bit more modular, and so it's definitely a little bit different than the vintage one. Let's see, how does this go in here? Oh, it goes on the end there, like that. There. And then this, I moved mine. I had mine up close, but according to the directions, it's supposed to go in the back. But I had it like up close, so you can get a second figure on here, and that figure can hold it. So I was trying to make it a little bit better that way, and I don't know.
That makes sense.
So there you go. That's on there, and that's removable, like I said before. And so I think that is everything on the classified Tiger Paw itself. Like I said, it is a little bit darker deco. They did change up a few of the accessory parts to this, but overall, I love Tiger Force, and I will take anything Tiger Force because I think it's a beautiful deco scheme, and it looks really nice.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's that. Now we're going to get into wreckage a little bit. This is taking me a little longer than I thought it was going to take, but I apologize.
Are you good, bro?
All right, so we have wreckage. So right off the bat, wreckage does not look like that vintage figure, and he does not look like that Super 7 figure. Their color scheme is a lot more subdued, a lot darker, a lot more creepier. Just look at that face print on that guy, man. If he came up to me,
it's amazing, isn't it?
Dark alley, I'd be running for the hills. Those eyes, oh man.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, man. I'm telling you, it's just the color. I'm looking at mine right now, but the deco on this figure is absolutely amazing.
So they have the Tampo, the Tiger Force Tampo on the side there. There's a lot of little silver, little deco details. There's zippers and little zippers in different places to give a little bit of a break with that. There's also a little gray in the ammunition pouches and on this little gauntlet that he has there, sheath on his right arm. But from the vintage version and the Super 7 version, they change it from the green and the yellow to more of a black and taupe color. And so that's fine. It's a good update. Since we never did get him, I think, it's not that big a deal to change him up a little bit, to give him that classifying zhuzhing, like you said, that Lenny always says, that zhuzhing up. So we'll put that out of the way. We'll get into some of his accessories. Now, he's definitely got the Firefly version 2 backpack. I have to make sure I clarify this. It's the classified Firefly version 2, not the original version 2. The vintage Firefly had a similar backpack to this, and this has some very nice deco with that computer effect on there, the blue and black, and then some technology and some ammunition and grenades and stuff that are in black, and then with a base color of brown. So I'm going to stick that on him in his back. It's got a peg hook there, so we can stick that on there. It looks really cool. Let's see what else. He had a gun. What did I do with his gun? Oh, I left his gun in the package. So I'm going to take his gun out. He has a brown gun. I'm not sure what revolver that is. It does not look like the 45 or anything. It looks like a weird revolver. I'm not sure what that is. But he's got a holster.
I don't know.
He's got a holster on his right leg, and we're gonna put that in there. Um, it looks more like a laser gun of some sort. I don't know. So we got that in there, and then he has his cool helmet. I love these helmets. I love these steel core helmets, and they've redecoed these
Yes.
4 or 5 times now for different figures. But this one they gave the Tiger Force design to, with the jaws on the side, and made it that yellow, that I guess you can call it like a tangerine yellow or tangerine orange. I don't know. But it looks really cool, and there's like
Yeah.
a greenish faceplate there with a little red computer diagnostic thing there. So they really go out of their way with the decos on these helmets. I really like them. And then because he's a kind of a saboteur mercenary, he's got like the his kills on the top of the helmet. There's like 3 or 4 kills up there, which I find very fascinating, and a couple of kills
Right.
on that side too. I don't know if I want to keep this helmet on there or leave this grizzly balaclava head on there, because I really like that balaclava. That's really looks like a skull on there. Isn't that cool?
Right. I went with the balaclava myself. I actually used the helmet with one of those extra Dukes on a kit bash.
That's a good idea, because Duke is on a motorcycle as well. So
Yeah.
then he has Firefly's vintage machine gun, but this one's in brown, so I put it in that hand there. Then he's got these mines and these weapons cartridges. I'm trying to figure out. I guess all the weapons cartridges go in these little things on the side here, on that arm on the right hand side. That goes there like that. I'm guessing, because I don't see any other place to put it.
On the right arm, I believe that's the knife sheath.
Okay, so is that a knife there, or is that's not a knife? What would you call this? It looks like a box cutter to me.
I'm gonna have to pull mine out. Yeah, it's and it kind of looks like a steak knife.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Then there's a little radio. He's got a little remote control, kind of like Firefly does. This little teeny remote control there. So I think there's a spot on the backpack for that, maybe.
There's a spot on the backpack for the landmines, I believe.
Yep, you're right.
And you can put the gun on the backpack.
Yep, the landmines go there. That. 1 and 2. There. So this little thing there is for the rifle. I'm guessing, because there's a little hole there. So that goes for the rifle. So I've got the rifle and the mines on the backpack. There's a little doodad on the bottom. I think that's for the old Firefly figure. So I don't think there's anything that is included with that that goes on that
right
plug.
I don't think there is.
Yep. And then I'm trying to figure out what to do with these other 2 things, because I have a thing when it comes to this sort of stuff. I want everything to have a place.
Yes.
And it bothers me if it doesn't. And so I'm going to put the remote control in one of his hands. So at least that's in his hand. And then he has, I guess, the silencer. So the silencer I'll attach to the rifle. So then at least that has a spot. And I think that's going to probably do it for the accessories. The only thing that's not going to be on him is going to be his secondary Tiger Force helmet, but I may give that to Duke, since Duke's got a regular head, like you said, and this will give him something cool to have on him. So let's see. I think that's going to do it for Wreckage. Let me see. What do they call him in this? They called him Wreckage. Okay, so they went with the 2000s name, and then and he's got all the same articulation points as most of the classified figures. He's got the butterflied shoulders, the double pinned elbows, the foot rocker, the ankle articulation, the wrist articulation. He's got the thigh and calf articulations, the crotch and waist articulation. He's got the ab crunch and the head rocker articulation. The only two he does not have is the secondary wrist and the secondary bendy wrist articulation. But everything else looks like it's all right. He's got all the same ones. So I'm going to see if I can get him on here with one of his arms holding that there handle, if I can get it in there. Let's see. All right, I got that on there. So I can turn him this way, have him sit on that there. And I have that remote control for the explosives that he just laid out behind him in that building. And there you have it. There's wreckage and the updated classified Tiger Paw. Looks really cool. I'm very, very happy. I love it when we get vehicles and stuff because they're so fun. There's so much fun to play with and do things with.
Yes.
I'm going to put the helmet kind of back there a little bit. So I'm going to get this out of my way because we got a lot to cover and we do not have a lot of space. So there. I'll put that down there. Put that out of the way. Get his instructions out of the way and his weapons crate out of the way. And now we have done Wreckage and the Tiger Paw review. Whew, that was fun. All right, so now we're going to get into some really cool stuff now. So we're going to do our top 10 vehicles that we individually, this is very subjective, people out there, folks out there in the chat. Ultimate Red Phoenix, hey, you're a new person in the chat. Thanks for joining us today. And it says 610, first co-host of the year. Yep, that's true. Hopefully we're going to get a lot more of you guys to join me, and then we can have...
Yeah, I'd love to see some more of the guys in here.
We can get 610 and Woody back on some other fun stuff. And there's some of you other guys like Lone Dragon and Hondo and stuff like that. Sean Jones. A lot of you guys I would like to talk with and find out about the history of your collecting and how you got into G.I. Joe. So if any of you guys are interested in joining me in an episode, please let me know in Messenger, David T. Allen. And I will see what we can do about getting you guys on here. You can see these are going to be a little bit longer videos. So thanks for being patient, everybody in the chat. All right. So
and everybody in the chat, hey, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button too while you're out here.
Yeah, thank you very much. 610. So do you have any honorable mentions for your favorite vehicles that you couldn't fit into your top 10 that you would like to mention first before we go into our top 10s? Because I have one.
I do, and I do. I've got two. And people are probably going to be like, how could you leave this out of the top 10? But one of my honorable mentions right off the bat is the Mobat. Like I said earlier in the stream, I got all my 82 line handed down to me. So I love the Mobat, but it wasn't like my thing right then. But it was my main vehicle for those first couple of years. But it is just outside my top 10. And another one that I left out of the top 10 is just a personal big one for me. I had the Crossfire, the remote control, and it was just so cool getting it that Christmas and thinking, oh my gosh, there's a G.I. Joe remote control. What am I going to do with myself? You know, and just running over Cobras with it. God, it was so much fun back in the day. But those are my two honorable mentions.
Both of those two are automated vehicles too, because the Mobat was a remote control type of situation, and also the Crossfire. And I remember those ads where in the 80s, they would have two Crossfires, and there's two differences. There's like some
Yeah.
differences with the engines, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And so you would have your buddy and you'd be running back and forth according to the ads. And I always thought that was fun. I never got one as a child because I could never find it in my areas where I was. And I lived in New Hampshire when I was predominantly collecting GI Joe, and I wanted one for the wilderness environment that I was growing up in, and I never found one. I did get one as an adult, and me and a friend of mine did a race. He raced with his, and I raced with mine. And it was really fun. It
That's
brought all
awesome.
those childhood feelings back with Crossfire.
Oh yeah.
I hope we get one in classified. I'm wondering how they would do that. Would they
That'd
do it
be-
as remote?
Oh, that'd be cool.
It would be cool if they could. We did get a remote control like Vamp Mark II recently through, I think it was Jada, and it's really cool. I have it, and it's big, so it is possible that they could do it if they want to, but I don't know. You said, Sean Jones, you want the Recon sled. Well, that's a very easy vehicle to get. It's a small vehicle, but it's very easy to get. So I think you can get
Very
that.
doable.
Very doable, exactly. All right, so I'm going to do my honorable mention, and my honorable mention is a custom that I had made because I've always wanted this because I'm a big fan of this character and this idea from the comics that Larry introduced new characters in the comics that never really got the toy treatment. And to this day, we've never got a figure or a toy of this particular vehicle. And so this is something I had custom made by a friend of mine. I took a Scooby-Doo van and from Fun School, I think it's Fun Play School, the Scooby-Doo Play School van, and I had it custom made into the van for Bongo the Balloon Bear.
No way.
And Candy Appel. Yep. And so
That is awesome.
Yeah, I've been trying to find a place where I can get some decals. So there's Candy Appel's van there, and it has all kinds of removable like things that come off that were part of the Scooby-Doo part of this. So you can fit Joe's in there because there were Joe's that hung out with her and stuff like that, and she helped him at the circus.
That is hitting all the nostalgia buttons.
And then this opens up and you can get the figures out of there. And there's a computer in there, so she could do some computer stuff, sleuthing like the Scooby-Doo characters did. And then I had another friend custom and you can see inside there's room for 2 seats in there. There's coffee things, and there's all kinds of stuff. And then this door opens up and you can get your figures inside there as well. There's all kinds of things you can see inside. So it's perfect.
That is so cool.
It's perfect for an O-ring style vehicle or 4-inch vehicle. And so I was like, I have got to get someone to customize that. And so I had another friend of mine, Jamie Shoemate, make me a Bongo the Balloon Bear figure, 4-inch figure with her helmet there, her bear helmet. So you can take the head off, put the bear helmet. And this is a Fortnite figure, a bear Fortnite figure.
That is so cool.
And so I've always wanted this in G.I. Joe as an O-ring. Wow. We've never gotten it. So I got a 4-inch scale. Someday I'll get an O-ring version of it. Hopefully maybe Super 7 will do it. Because they've been doing a lot of that.
That's still amazing, Dave. I'm telling you, that hits all the nostalgia buttons.
Thank you very much. It's just one of those things that I've loved since I was a child. I was like, why hasn't anybody made this yet? And so I was thinking about if anybody did a classified Bongo the Balloon Bear that I could get, I would buy that Ramen Toys van that they made, and I would have that custom made just like this into a classified scale Bongo the Balloon Bear,
right.
And then a figure, because there's a larger version of her as well from Fortnite, so it can be done. I just haven't had the wherewithal to do it yet, but I'm hoping at some point that Classified or Super 7 will do an O-ring version or classified version. Let's see.
I'd love to get it classified. That'd be amazing.
Sean Jones, Bad Mother Customs. What, for the tampos and the stickers, Sean Jones? Will probably help you out for decals. Oh, there you go. Well, thank you very much, Bad Mother Customs. Then I'll definitely look into getting customs, the decals, because I need the Bongo the Balloon Bear thing on there. That's the only one I really need. But I appreciate you letting me know that, Sean Jones. All right. So now we are up to our top 10 classified, or no, not classified, G.I. Joe vehicles of all time. So this can incorporate any brand of G.I. Joe, the 60th
Right.
anniversary, the Sigma 6, Valaverse Venom, O-Ring, Sergeant Savage, G.I. Joe Extreme, Classified, 50th, 40th, 30th, 25th, anything. So if you have a vehicle that you love and you want to put it in your top 10, you can do whatever you want. So I'm going to, since you're the guest on this one, 610 Yojo Dad, I'm going to start with you. Start with your number 10 favorite G.I. Joe vehicle of all time.
All right. Number 10 is going to be a little later in the line for me. But this, because of the way it was made, the thought process that went into it, the Hiss 2 versus the Hiss 1, because that drop down to load, the way the back came down so you could put figures in, the triple cannon, I mean, and just the beautiful paint scheme of it, the Hiss 2 is my number 10.
That's a very good upgrade to the Hiss. A friend of mine, because he's around the same period as you collecting, he came in around 88, 89, and that's his favorite Hiss tank as well. It's definitely a bulkier, a larger upgrade to the vintage, the first version of the Hiss tank, and there's a lot of cool decos with it. There's a different pilot with it that's a cool looking pilot. It is a really nice vehicle, and I know a lot of people do prefer that as their Hiss of their choice in the fandom. So I wonder if we would ever get, I doubt it. I shouldn't say that I doubt it, but do you think we would ever get a classified Hiss variation 2? Because they just did the Arctic Assault.
I'm looking at my Hiss right now, trying to think. If they did, I think we'd be very demanding to have that drop down insertion. If they could do that with the Hiss we've got now, maybe. Well, I don't know. It'd be kind of tough, I think.
They do have that extra part that they put for troop builders inside the center. So they would have to redo like an apparatus to lower that down. But the gap is there.
Right, on the front. Yeah.
It
could be done, yeah.
Engineering, but I think it could be done and just add more stuff to the side, similar to what they did with the Arctic one. Those baskets and those tarps they added to the side. They would just need to add some added side stuff and figure out how to add the mechanics of that drop down. But I think it's doable. I think it's doable.
Yeah, it is doable, because I mean, and it would maybe take, a different cannon, but that's doable for sure.
Yep. So let's see, where am I going to go? What am I going to do for my number 10? I have to look at all these vehicles and figure out which one I want to do as number 10. I think I'm going to go with the Arctic Assault Hiss, which is funny, but this is the 25th anniversary of Arctic Assault Hiss. It has stood the test of time for me as one of the best looking variations of the Hiss in the history of Hisses. We've got like, I don't know, 30 Hisses. I don't know. But this is a beautiful deco. And it's a beautiful color scheme. And I like Arctic. And I lived in New Hampshire, Massachusetts. So I played in the snow quite often. And it always was one of my favorite things to do with my Joes, to go out in the snow. Thankfully, I never lost any Joes in the snow like some other people. But this is a beautiful deco.
Yeah, when we lived in Canada, we did the Snow Joes, and man, that was some of the best times of my life.
It's just a wonderful time. And I always questioned when they did the Snowcat HasLab, is there enough people that want this? but then I've been finding a lot of people said, no, I love the Snowcat. I love playing with it. I love the snow theme and this and that. And I was like, it was very
Yeah.
slow moving, that HasLab. But at the end, it got over the finish line and it did fairly decent. It didn't do like his tank numbers or Rattler numbers, but
Right.
it got over the finish line and it did reasonable numbers. It's just, I don't know how they were doing the algorithm for that, but it was slow, very slow. But I'm glad we got it,
Yeah.
and I'm glad we're getting this as well.
Yeah.
I ordered
Looking forward to both.
Yep. I ordered my second one yesterday, so I broke my ordering
Did you?
of it into 2 different time frames. Like I ordered the first one on the first like day, December 4th. Then they ordered this one yesterday, which was January 2nd. So hopefully they ship them separate and they charge me separate. So then
Right.
I will be getting like $450 coming out of the bank account all at the same time, and
At one time. Yeah.
right. So I thought that was a better, smarter way of doing it. We'll see how it goes. But I love this. I love the Snow Serpent upgrade to this, and the figure has also the Hiss Driver head, and I love the little added red details and stuff. The new one, the new Arctic one, is phenomenal looking, and they did like a pattern,
Yeah.
like a lenticular camouflage pattern on it. This one doesn't have it, but the new one does, and it has obviously the drop down in the back. You can put troops in there and do a lot more with it. So I'm very happy we're getting this. I'm very happy they did it, and I've always liked this from the moment it came out. And this one was a Target exclusive, so you can only find it at Target as part of the 25th anniversary line of Joe's. So it was a fairly new vehicle for the line. There's a lot of new vehicles that I really liked that I couldn't get into this because there was a lot more of the vintage ones that I wanted to get in. But there's some really good new stuff that came out in the modern eras that I really love. So let's see.
See, I missed out on that whole modern era right there. When I stopped collecting, I want to say right around 93. And then from there till classified, I didn't collect because I had gotten married, got raising kids, stuff, didn't have time to. And man, I'm going back and learning about that time period in between the 90s and classified, and there is a ton there. I mean, just some amazing stuff that I'd never seen. And that's something like my knowledge of all old 80s Joes is great. 90s up to 92, 93 is great. But that period in between, man, there is so much to learn. And I'm getting to learn all that as I go and think, man, I want to see all of that stuff in classified, man, because I never got that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's some special stuff.
And they've been doing a little bit here. It's little dribs and drabs. They've done 4, 5, 6 items from that time period, from 94 when the line ended till classified started. They've done 5 or 6 things. They've done obviously
Right.
Kamakura. That's a Devil's Due. We're getting Zanya, which is also another Devil's Due character. We got Helix.
Yeah.
We got the what's the guy with the mask? He's the tracker. I can never remember his name. He's got like the greenest
Shadow Tracker.
Shadow Tracker. He was in the movie, one of the movie lines. I think
Rise of Cobra, I believe.
Yeah. We got the I think we got the Crimson Bat, the Crimson Viper. Those are both in the modern era variations of both of those. I'm trying to think of what else came in that time. Oh, Vipra. They redecoed Vipra as a Python Patrol, but she was technically
Python
a pilot.
Patrol,
in the Real American Hero wave from the late 90s, 97, 98. So they did her. So there's only been like 6 or 7 things thus far. Oh, Shooter, even though there's an homage to her in the very first Larry Hama comic, her figure didn't come out till 50th anniversary. So she's a modern figure, but they haven't done that. They need to get more into that era and those time frames because there's so much cool stuff. I think we're going to get a lot of that.
Oh, yeah.
because they're almost done with 82 to 87. There's hardly anything left other than a few redecos and a few vehicle drivers. And all the vehicle drivers in that time frame are all vehicles that are just astronomically impossible to do as
Right.
HazLabs. Maybe we might get
Yeah.
one or two of them, and we might get to one of them in this video as one of my favorite vehicles. But yeah, those vehicles from that time frame are hard to do as HazLabs, but
Yeah.
you never know. Sean Jones.
Absolutely.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You good?
Sean Jones, if the line lasts 10 more years, we could get his 2. I think so. I think we may
Yeah.
get more hisses.
Yeah.
I think we're definitely going to get another hiss, at least a third hiss, possibly a fourth hiss. So maybe they might put Rip It with the hiss version 2. You never know. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It's all possible.
I can definitely see a Crimson Hiss coming down the tubes.
Yeah. So, all right, go into your number 9 favorite vehicle of all time. 610.
Okay. All right. For number 9, this is a odd one. A lot of people are going to be like, probably, boo, you know, but the Swamp Masher, man. I absolutely loved, even though it was the neon green and purple, man, I loved this vehicle, dude. And even though on the box it had Muskrat Hardball, man, mine had Storm Shadow driving it and Snake Eyes version 3 riding in the back. And that was my little homage there. But I loved the Swamp Master.
That is a fun vehicle. It's a very definitely unique color scheme. It is a 90s bulkier vehicle. They did a lot of those bulkier vehicles, and they were in the comics. They showed them in the comics, and they're fun vehicles. So I agree with you. It is a very fun vehicle. Yeah. And that's the thing about this list. We are going to be doing this based on how we grew up and what attracted us to G.I. Joe and what things that we hit our feels in us when we were young. And so there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
It's a fun vehicle too. There you go. Anything else you want to add to that?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So I'm going to go with my number 9. And mine is an upgrade to a previous vehicle. I know a lot of people like the earlier version quite a lot, but I like this version better. It's a 90s vehicle, so I'm going to be doing a vehicle from 610 Yojo Daddy's time frame because it's just a better version of this particular vehicle. And sometimes these vehicles they did redecos, they did upgrades, they tried to make them better. This is called the Shark 9000. And it is a 90s, I think like 93 vehicle, if I'm not mistaken. And it comes with the Battle Corps. It was part of the Battle Corps. So it was part of the DEA and the Battle Corps.
Oh, wow.
And the police and those guys did this. And it is totally awesome. There's so much stuff to do with this. This is the type of thing we would get for a water moccasin, because it'd be about this scale. If we got a water moccasin, it'd be about this scale. And there's all kinds of water guns and launching missiles and propellers and stuff like that in the back. It is a huge vehicle. And it takes everything that I can to hold it because it's so big. And it came with Cutter version 2. And Cutter is one of those characters that I really like because he's from Boston and I'm from Massachusetts. And then this goes down and there's a big torpedo in there. You can see that big torpedo. There's so much stuff. There's so much playability with this vehicle. It's one of the most unique vehicles of the 2000s era. And it was definitely an upgrade to the original Shark that Deep Six came in. I just love it. There's mines that drop. There's so much stuff. There's like
that's very cool looking.
You can fit about 10 G.I. Joe figures on this sucker.
Wow.
So a
That
little
is
bit
awesome.
outside the box, a little bit outside the box, but from your era, 610 Yojo Daddy. So there you
Well,
go.
really, uh, I, I really started honestly into the line about 84 was where I started buying. But the 82 and 83, that's what was handed down to me in 84. So, but yeah, I held on long into the line until it was close to the death of March. But I definitely got out probably around 92, 93.
Well, I think you picked up the best year to start GI Joe because 84,
Oh,
even
yeah.
though there's some really good hitters in 82 and 83, my first year was 83 because my first figure was Destro, but 84 is like the peak, in
Wow.
my opinion. 84 and 85 from my time collecting, those are my 2 years. But 84, if you think of all the
Yep.
awesome stuff that we got in 84, we got not only Zartan, we got Storm Shadow, we got Firefly, we got Spirit,
Yep.
Roadblock, Duke, we got Blowtorch, Recondo, Mutt and Junkyard, we got the Whale, we got this Deep Six and the Shark, we got Zartan, his Swamp Skier, we got the
Yep.
Rattler, we got
And those,
uh it's like that is, and then 85 was Crimson Twins, the Dreadnoks, Lady J, Flint. Those 2 years are just phenomenal. So you started at the right place because that's the best years, in my opinion. You know, I know there's a lot of people that say
yeah.
86 was the best year, or 89 and 90 were the best years, and stuff. But it all depends on when you got into this, when you grew up with this.
That's right.
So let's go into your number 8 favorite vehicle, GI Joe vehicle of all time.
Well, for me, number 8 is going to have to be the Skyhawk, man. That little green thing, I love it. I put my Duke in there, man, and I would fly all around the yard. Come back to go down in the ditch, attack the dreadnoughts that were in the swamp in the ditch. Man, those were some great days. But as a vehicle design, man, I just thought it was so unique to have a small vertical takeoff and landing vehicle that the Joes could get in, fulfill their mission, and get back to base. You know.
Wow, that is a very cool vehicle. I had several of those. Those are those vehicles that were so playable that you could do a lot with them. And I broke a couple of mine, similar to my Ostrikers, because I played with them so much. They were kind of like
Yeah.
models in that way, where you had to put them together, and they were supposed to be sturdy enough to play with. But uh, if you were rough with your toys, they didn't last very long. Um, Hello, Yojo Daddy
Yeah.
and David.
Yeah.
Catch
They were pretty
y'all
brittle.
fumbling through the galaxy. There you go. Peace out.
What's up, Fumbler?
So I had that, and did you get the fans hobby version of that? Because Hasbro and Classified have not made that yet. They've made like 3 variations
Right.
through fans hobby. I'm holding out for the Classified version, but
I am holding out myself.
Yeah. Because it's just too expensive to try and get all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, Classified will get it. I'll wait, and then but
Yeah.
they are beautiful. The ones that they've made for that fans hobby are beautiful. I've seen some of them in person.
Absolutely.
And they are huge. They are really big. So I'm very happy that they're making them, but I just can only get so much. My bandwidth is so thin. So
Right.
I'm going to go into my number 8 favorite vehicle of all time. And it was a vehicle that I kind of showcased not too long ago.
Let's go.
When I did the Sergeant Slaughter's Marauders vehicles and figures in that video. I showed this guy here. If I can get it out. And it is totally awesome. Look at all those armaments.
Wow.
They took
Yes.
the Mauler body. This is the modern Mauler body, and they upgraded it, and they added all kinds of extra stuff. There's like a compartment where you can put the figures in back there. There's a little hatch on the top that you can get a figure
Wow.
in, and there's two little hatches here on the front that you can open up, and you can fit two figures in there. One, and there's another one on that side. And I love the deco of this. It looked a little garish on the figures, but it looks very awesome on the tank itself. I think
Yes,
I
it
think
does.
what's the name of this? It's not the Lynx. I can't think of the name of it.
I really can't remember it.
But it has a weird name. It has a water thing. It has all these turrets that go up and down, and they're all tied together. So when this goes up, and they have launching missiles, stuff like that, so it worked. And then the turret moved around. In my opinion, this is the best tank they ever made. As much as I like the Mauler and the Mobat,
Yes,
this is just
I like it.
it's so much more playable. If somebody in the chat can remember the name of this, it's not the Lynx, it's something else. It's not the Paralyzer. What is the name of it? I don't know. My memory goes on me sometimes.
I can't think of it. Hey, all of us. Called getting older.
Yeah, it's called getting older. That's right. And I like the fact that they have these removable panels. If we ever got a HasLab tank, I think this is the type of thing they should do as stretch goals to make turrets, 4, 5, 6 turrets as stretch goals, and have different panels, right? That you could attach to the tank, and then make it modular, and you could have 4 or 5 different tanks. You could do the bridge layer, you could do the Wolverine turret, you could do the Mauler turret, Mobat turret, you could do this turret, you could do the Slugger turret. So there's 6 different turrets you could add to a HasLab body like this and make it modular, and then do these panels, different colored panels. Do the khaki, do the drab green, do camouflage panels. And I think that's the way to do a tank HasLab if they wanted to do it. And then if they wanted to reuse it in
modular,
line, you could. But that's just my 2 cents on it. If they wanted the Bobcat, is that the name of it, Sean Jones?
Yeah, I think Ace proved that is very doable with the tank.
Equalizer, that's the name of it. You got it, Lone Dragon. Thank you very much. Equalizer.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Yep. So that's my number 8.
What's up, Lone Dragon?
Hey, Lone Dragon. We should get you on one of these episodes one of these days and talk to you about some fun stuff. If you're interested, let me know. All right. Back to 610 Yojo Daddy. Your number 7 favorite vehicle of all time.
Number 7, going to the heart of my Joe days, the Fang. Man, I loved having Destro or Cobra Commander flying over the battlefield in that thing, trying not to chop their head off. But dude, that was my main go-to for Cobra vehicle. If I had to grab one and get one for the battlefield, and dude, I love that. Love the Fang. Love seeing it in the cartoon. Loved it in the comics. I mean, it's just a great design. It's very playable. That cannon, man, with it swiveling around in every direction, man, you can't beat it.
Yeah, that was my very first vehicle in '83 when I got for Christmas. I got Destro, I got the Cobra Trooper, and I got the Fang helicopter. So that was my very first GI Joe vehicle. I can never remember their name. Fans Hobby just released their version of that, and we've yet to
Yeah.
get a classified version. And they've hinted at on the packages 2 or 3 times that they were going to do a version of it. But I think if they're going to do a version of it, I think they
Right.
should go with the version 2, Fang. I think the second version of it is a much more unique version, and Fans Hobby probably won't be able to do that. So I think that's what they should do with classified. If they're going to do the Fang version 2. But I love that. I think it's
Man,
great.
I want that version 1 though. I do. I want the version 1 bad.
Lone Dragon, unless you want me to hold the phone or be audio on using my headset. Whatever works for you, Lone Dragon. I'm here to accommodate if you have to do it. 610's is using his phone for this video because his
Yeah,
laptop,
I'm actually using my phone today.
so his laptop kicked the bucket on him. So if you have a decent phone, you should be all right. Yeah, you would need to put it someplace, lean it on something or whatever to do a video. But yeah, it's tricky because I've done videos using my phone in person at conventions. It can be tricky. All right, so I'm going to get to my number 7. And my number 7 favorite vehicle is going to be, it's kind of buried back here a little bit. I'm going to see if I can dig it out without knocking all this stuff over. It's back here. I'm going to put this up here. Hopefully that will stay there without falling. There. Stay. My number 7 is the Cobra Rattler sound attack variation from the early 2000s. This is during Daryl DePriest's era of the new sculpt figures. They had a different molding and way that they worked, and there was sound attack on all these. You can see on the package it says sound attack, and it's like a all copper variation of the Rattler, and it is my favorite variation of the Rattler. Even though I love the Tiger Rat, this is just totally awesome with that sound attack. And it comes with a different variation of Wild Bill or Wild Weasel from the 2000s, and it is just phenomenal. It is a really cool vehicle from the modern.
See, I'm learning today, Dave. I'm learning today.
It's really cool looking. It's an upgraded Rattler with a lot more technology and different weapons and stuff like that. And I love the hot pink missiles and everything. And it took me a while to get this at a decent price. This cost me quite a bit of money, but I did get it eventually at a decent price. But that's my number 7 favorite G.I. Joe vehicle. Remember, my collection is going to be a little bit broader than the average person's collection because I never stopped collecting. Maybe I wasn't all that entire time, but I never stopped collecting from 83 till now. And I had to go back and reacquire my vintage collection as I got to it. Whoops, that didn't work out, did it? I had a feeling that might slip off, but thankfully it's still in place, still good. So that was a little bit tricky. I balanced it on this guy back here, and that was not solid. So I'll pick those up later, and I'll have to put him down someplace over here.
And that's a pretty ship right there.
This one, yeah. It's the stealth bomber. We'll get into this one in a little while.
Oh yeah.
Once I can clear out some of my space here. All right. So that was number 7. So we're gonna get into your number 6 favorite G.I. Joe vehicle.
Number 6. Let's see. Number 6. I can remember the first time I got to watch the original G.I. Joe miniseries, and it started off the show. And it was right in plain sight, Sky Striker, man. I was a huge Top Gun fan as a child. And not only did my Sky Striker serve the purpose of being Joe and being Ace and that beautiful split wing design, man, but it was also my Tom Cruise flying around in the 80s all day long through the yard, man. Maverick was Ace. Ace was Maverick.
And that Drummond jet is one of the classic designs of jets, and Hasbro
Yes.
has redecoed that probably, I don't know, like 20, 30 times. And there's some really nice variations of it that I like. I think we will get it at some point for classified.
Do you?
I don't know how we're going to get it. It's going to be big.
Yes, it'd be massive. I mean, Baldy Locks, I don't know if you know him or not, but he had a friend that did a 3D print on one, and he did a video of himself flying it around the yard. And dude, I mean, he's like,
yeah,
he's out of breath before he gets 30 feet with that big old thing, you know?
As much as I would love the original version, the vintage version with Ace, I think it's just too big for classified. And I think if they're going to do it,
Yeah.
they're going to have to do the Conquest or something different,
Yeah.
a smaller jet that they can make the wings go up and down like the Rattler. That is the only way we're going to get a Sky Striker in classified. In my personal opinion, I just don't see us getting that vintage one. I measured it because classified is 1/6 scale. So you have to upgrade everything. And we just did that ferret. And you looked at that other ferret we did, the Tiger Paw, and it's 3 scales bigger. 3 scales.
Right.
So you think that class of if you take the other HasLab one we just got and you up that 2 times, that's just
right. That's massive.
So I don't think we're going to get it as much as I would like it. I don't see it being feasible or realistic. It's just not.
Right.
And because you did a jet for your number 6, I'm going to do a jet for my number 6, and my jet is going to be the Stealth Bomber with Ghost Rider as pilot. And it's not 100% complete. There's a little bit of missing. I think I dropped this when I took it off the wall. This little ghost thing that pops out here to make it go faster. My other one fell off somewhere. I think it's back there when I took it off the wall because of space-wise, I have to hang my jets on the wall, and I hang them like this.
Right.
So I think when I took it off the wall, part of it fell off, and I have to go see if I can hunt it down. But the Stealth Bomber is one of the awesomest jets G.I. Joe ever made, in my opinion. It's got hot green missiles, it's gray and black, and it's got one of the coolest pilots that comes with it, Ghost Rider. He's like a mystery guy that nobody knows who he is because they always forget his name. They were like, "Who?"
Always forget the Joker's name. Who? What's his name?
Exactly. And it has the gears that go down like the Sky Striker and everything. But this is my favorite jet of all of G.I. Joe. It's awesome. I need to really clean it up a little bit. It's a little dusty from hanging on the wall. I need to get some stuff to spray it and clean it. It's a little dusty, but I love it. It's one of my favorite all-time vehicles. But like I said, this is a very tricky video to do because there's so many awesome vehicles. I probably have
so many.
I have a lot more than the average person, and I'm even having a hard time trying to figure it all out. I'm going to put him over there.
Yeah. That the beauty of that Stealth Bomber though was that it came out about the same time we were sitting in the middle of Desert Storm, and we were actually using our B2s for the first time over there bombing. And it just felt like G.I. Joe was really kind of leaning into it right then in that moment.
Well, that's the neat thing about GI Joe and the vintage guys. They got to go to a lot of these like war type museums, and they got to go to the army when they would be rolling out all the new stuff to look at and to
Right.
check out for the military. They got to go to those meetings and stuff like that and see all that stuff, so they could start making designs of toys based on that futuristic stuff that we never saw for like 20 years. It takes a lot more time to make a real life thing like this than it would to make a toy. Um, Old, what's his name? The guy with the hair always wears a shirt. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's him.
He had like that band, that like scarf that would always be blowing in the wind. They say,
Yeah.
hey, what's his name? I love that. They just used him recently in one of Larry Hama's comics again, and they did the same gag. I
Yep.
just find that funny. All right.
Yeah.
We're halfway done. 610. So let's see your number 5 favorite vehicle of all time.
All right. Number 5 for me is going to have to be the Tomahawk with lift ticket. And the reason being, got that for Christmas one year, or actually my birthday that year. And that was the first time I could load down a bunch of Joes and bring them in. Oh, there she is. And bring them down onto the battlefield and feel like I was dropping the guys off from the LARP team.
Yep. It definitely has those feels for me as well. I think it's one of the best vehicles that G.I. Joe ever made, not only for modularity, for play set ability, for durability. It's a very durable vehicle. And I have a vintage one, and it still holds up. The only problem is the propellers. Yeah. I got a bunch of new propellers, and I haven't put them on yet. So I'm still waiting to put them on. So mine doesn't have all the propellers on it. But it is one of the best.
Yeah, that was the one place that was a little bit weak, was in the propellers, but I took care of mine for a long time. But I mean, when my mother finally sold most of my collection, that was one of the first things to go. That's because it took up so much space, you know.
It is. It's an awesome vehicle, and I think we could get it in classified. So I'm going to jump in.
HasLab for sure.
Yep. I'm going to do my number 5. We're halfway through, and I'm going to do the Star Brigade armor bot, since he doesn't want to stay put.
Yeah. I never had that, and I've always thought it was so cool.
It's one of the funnest things about G.I. Joe is when they get into these areas that you never think they would get into. And Star Brigade is one of those areas I love, because I love space, I love astronauts, and I love aliens and creatures and all that. So I want all this fun stuff, and I want them to bring this stuff on with classified. And since now we got the armor bot, the Cobra Snake armor bot from
Snake armor,
Cobra, I think this is very possible. I think we could get
that'd be awesome.
Armor bot to go along with the Snake armor.
I'm looking at my Snake right now and thinking, man, that really could be easily done in Joe.
So I have the toy. This is just the box, but I thought it was easier to showcase the box than it was the toy. And it comes with a Hawk figure, a Star Brigade Hawk figure, and it was part of the whole Star Brigade theme. They would fight in space, and they've used this in the comics as well. This is not something they just made a toy of. They did use it in the comics. There was a lot of reuse on a lot of this stuff in the comics. So I'm very happy they did that, because I thought, oh no, they're never going to do that in the comics. But they did it. They've done everything in the comics. All right.
Sure have.
Yep. So number 4, it's your turn.
Number 4 for me. Number 4 for me would definitely be the Dreadnought Thunder Machine with Thrasher. Man, like I said, I had a big old ditch in my front yard, man, and when it rained in Alabama, it would flood out, and that would be my Dreadnought swamp, and I would get down in there, and those toys would be so muddy by the end of the afternoon, and I'd have to take them in, and Mother'd make me wash them all off before I could put them away in my toy box, because she wasn't having that crap in her house. But man, I've got some great memories of the Thunder Machine. And I believe it was issue 51 was the first appearance of the Thunder Machine. And dude, that was just such a killer issue as a kid to see all this color and wild and craziness going on with the Dreadnoks and everything. And it just holds a special place in my heart.
It's a phenomenal vehicle. I think it's one of the better Cobra vehicles, in my opinion, as well. You're picking a lot of great vehicles, and that's a vehicle. If we get has a classified version of it, I think it could use a little bit of an update because there isn't a Camaro body on the front of it, and I think we would need a lot more like Mad Max type like add-ons to it to really like you said earlier, zhuzh it up and really give it that like Mad Max like gritty feel. That's just my 2 cents. I don't know, maybe they could use the front of a Vamp or maybe the front of another vehicle or something to really give it that like, you know, Mad Max type feel to it.
Right. It'd be cool though either way. I just want to get one, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we're going to get it this year. I think it's on the cards. I think it's been in the rumor mill for so long that we have to have it. Thrash is one of the 2 main Dreadnoks that are left in the main line that we have yet to get. They're even doing like redecos of Zartan now with Ninja Force Zartan. So we're definitely going to have to get Thrasher, and we're going to have to get Zanzibar at some point. But I'd be here all day for it. I think it's going to be awesome. It's just about
bring them on.
It's a matter of what the price point is. Will it be in that $100 price point with just the Thunder Machine and Thrasher, or will it be in that $150 to $200 price range with add-ons, that extra guy that's in the box, package box, whoever that guy is that's in there, add him to it. So if they upgrade it, add a lot more Mad Max type grittiness to it, and those 2 figures, then it would need to definitely be in the 150 to 200 range. But we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. So I
can see it.
Okay,
I could see it made to order. I could see it as a made to order item, and maybe we'll get lucky enough that it'll be the next made to order.
That would be next Christmas, probably. Because I hope we don't get made to orders like through the year. That's going to make this very
me neither.
Because I can barely keep up with HasLab in the summer and now a made to order at Christmas time, which that's difficult trying to do Christmas and try to order a $200 vehicle that's now $400 because I want 2. So it's not an easy. So try to do that any other time of the year. I hope they don't do it any more times of the year. I hope we get more $100 vehicles and other littler vehicles in that time frame in between the HasLab and the made to order. Oh God, that's going to be hard. But
real tough.
So I am going to go with my number. I think we're up to 4, right? My number 4 favorite vehicle of all time, and I'm going to go with the septic tank, and that is
wow.
And I just dropped it. That was nice. Let me see if I can get
just don't break it, Dave. Just don't break it.
I know, but the problem is I don't have enough space. I don't have enough space to put all these.
I know what you're saying.
I'm going to take this down here for now, and I'll try to get it. Thankfully, his tanks are sturdy. They don't break that much.
Yes.
Let's move this over here. I'm going to have a time of it trying to clean all this stuff up after I'm done. Oh, boy.
But I'm very excited for what Classified may have coming down the line this next year. I hope the longevity of the line stays going. I do want a little bit of everything. They ain't got to make every single thing that's ever been made, but if they do, fine. Like I said, I'm on board for it as a completionist. But
Yeah.
Man, I was thinking last night, and I thought, I don't remember a figure I didn't like that Classified's done. I mean, there's been good and bad parts of each and every one, but I don't know a single one that I don't, that I'm like, man, I really didn't want to have to buy that, you know.
All right. So my number 4, I got it now, is the
There you
septic
go.
tank. And this is part of the Eco Warriors faction of Cobra, the terrorist group. I can't even open that up. Doesn't want to open up. It's tight. Because look at how awesome and bright this sucker is. You could use this as like
Yes.
a light in your house, and you'll be able to know where you are because it's so bright. It's basically the original Hiss tank. It's that buck with much brighter colors and stuff like that. And it has a water gun thing here that you can spray water with it. There's some tubes. I think the tubes fell back there. I'll have to pick them all up later. And
That's
then,
cool.
And then, like the vintage one, you can pull this turret out, and you can fit. If I can get it out, I don't know. I can't get it out. Where is it? Oh, I can't get that out. There's a space in there for figures and stuff like that. You could put a monster like a Toxo zombie or something down in there if you wanted to, because this does open up.
Right.
It's just I cannot get the space to open up. Let's see. And it came with the Cobra faction, the Toxo zombie pilot. I'm pretty sure. And where is it? Oh, well, I don't know. I'm having a difficulty opening that. He's a difficult one, but there's all kinds of really cool decals on this one. It looks really cool. Slime. They used a lot of stuff like sludge and slime with this. And so I never did that with it because I didn't want it to get damaged. And I didn't want to have goop all over it and everything like that. But I think we will get this. I think we will get this. And HasLab, as a pre-orderable scenario, similar to the Arctic Assault Hiss. At some point, I think we will get this because they've been hinting at cesspool over the last year twice.
Right.
Several interviews, Lenny mentioned cesspool,
yes.
And I love cesspool.
So I definitely think cesspool's on the way.
Oh yeah, and so I think we will get this after cesspool. I don't know if they would do another one next year. Maybe they'll do it in a couple years. The septic tank as a made to order, but I think we will get it. It's just a matter of time.
Right.
So that was my number 4. So what is your number 3?
All right, number 3, I have the Night Raven with Stratoviper. I got that for Christmas one year, and man, that sleek, beautiful jet with the drop-down 2-seat, and then the drone, pilotable drone on top. Man, that thing at the time it came out, I can remember thinking, man, this is a SR-72 Blackbird with a bonus on top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they just spent hours flying that thing around. I mean, and the Stratoviper himself, the design on that pilot, that was one of the most beautiful figures I'd ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's a very good figure. I think we're going to be getting a Super 7 Reaction Plus Raven figure, like the female version of that pilot.
Yeah, the female. Yes.
So I think we will get her as a Reaction Plus because people love that character and the vehicle, and that's something different. Super 7's always wanting to do different things with their O-Ring Plus Reaction Plus.
Right.
So I think we will get her. So you'll have a second pilot for that drone. You have the main guy in the main cockpit, and then you can put her in the drone. And that's something to add
awesome.
to that and playability of it.
Right. What's your number 3, Dave?
My number 3 is the Tomahawk. which we covered in a
Oh
little
yeah.
bit. We covered a little bit, but I'll give a little bit more info on it. Congrats on 200th episode subs, Super Dave. Thank you very much, RPG. Appreciate it. So the fact that this thing can do multiple things, you can get a vehicle to drop down from here. If you wanted to get a ram or something to go in there, you could. The seats are all removable. There's winch on the back, on the bottom, that you can do trooping down and go into different LCSs where you needed to get to. There's the turret that swivels there. There's wheels. There's two major propellers. Mine has to be replaced. I have the replacements. I just haven't done it yet. There's two gunner stations on there as well.
Yep.
There's another spot over here. There's so much. There's missiles. There's big bombs. If they did this in classified, I can see it being like something where you can take this part, this center part out, and you can put like something to carry vehicles or something to put figures or something to put a vehicle inside, different attachments for it, and make it more modular for classified and upgrade this. But definitely you would need to have lift ticket with it as well. And I don't know, maybe a Tiger Force Lifeline could come with it. And I don't know who else they could add to this to make it awesome, but it's going to be pricey if we get it, because I've seen the 3D printed ones and they are big.
Yeah, a friend of mine 3D printed one and had it at our local con at Gadsden Collector Con here in Gadsden, Alabama. If you don't mind, I'm going to shout that out for just a second. Yeah. It's January 17th. If you are in the Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, Mississippi area, or further out, man, we have over 70 plus vendors. Great show, very personable. And that's January 17th in Gadsden, Alabama. And I believe it's from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., I believe.
Wow, that's great. For all you guys that are looking for vehicles and different vintage things or classified stuff that you guys have started getting into, those cons are the place to go to get them. Those little, I won't say little, but those more intimate cons that are closer to where you live, those are the places to get a lot of this stuff. Going to the big ones is a lot tougher and the prices are a lot higher on a lot of that stuff. So go to your local shows. They're better. So let's get into your number two. 6, 10.
All right. Number two for me is actually a vehicle I didn't have until later on. I got picked one up at a yard sale, and but it's cross country and the Havoc, man. The Havoc was just next level. And going back to that issue 51, which was a very important issue, I think, in my mindset for G.I. Joe A-Raw, seeing cross country and the Thunder Machine taking on each other, that was crazy. Getting to see Thrasher against cross country. The Havoc just looked cool. It was futuristic. It was something we hadn't seen before. And to see Sergeant Slaughter fly out on the back end of it, and to see Thrasher hit in the head with that tire, man, with the Thunder Machine being my number 4, the Havoc was right up there, man.
Well, the Havoc has a very big spot in my life, and you know that if you watch this channel for a long period of time, you'll know that the Havoc is my favorite G.I. Joe vehicle. But it isn't my number 2. My number 2 is the Conquest shuttle.
Awesome.
I was thinking I was going to use the Defiant because the Defiant is technically a vehicle with a gantry, but I figured I would go with the Conquest better because it kind of fits as a vehicle better than the Defiant. I love the Defiant. It's one of my all-time favorite things, but it's more of a playset than a vehicle, in my opinion. It's a space station. It's a gantry. But the part that is the most important, and I have to be very careful, is trying to open this up, is these inside these this space shuttle. There's another shuttle inside of it, and it's the same shuttle that came with your your Night
Not
Raven,
Raven.
but it's a white version of it, and it's inside,
Yeah,
so they can go into space, do what they got
it's
to
so
do,
cool.
and they can still fight Cobra with that little shuttle in there. And there's all kinds of playability with this. It opens up, and you can fit 4 or 5 astronauts inside of it there in the cockpit. There, mine's is not complete. There's some tubes and things missing, but you know, I don't play with my toys the way I did when I was young, so it's not that big of a deal. And then, of course, this still opens up and
Right.
does what it needs to do, and you can fit a figure in there and stuff like that. But the fact that I had the armor bot, the space bot, I had to have something Joe space related, and I was just worried that I could not bring that playset because it was just too big. Um, the Defiant playset, and I have to be careful. You can hear that creaking. That's because these things have not been
Yep.
opened in years and years, and it is one of the best
Yep.
vehicles. And then I think this is the wheels. The wheels come down, and they can. And then there's some storage here as well with it. Yeah, storage. Oh, those are laser guns. So if you're in space, you have to have laser guns
Okay.
to fight. So yeah, I love this. It's one of the most awesomest GI Joe vehicles they've ever made in the line, and I'm very happy that I have one. I'm happy I have the Defiant, but like I said, I could not bring the whole Defiant in here, so I figured I'd just do the Conquest instead, the shuttle. So, what is your number one GI Joe favorite vehicle of all time?
All right. So for number one, you were talking a minute ago about more of a playset than a vehicle, but I'm sorry, I was blessed enough to have it, and in my mind, it is always sailing the seas, and that is the USS Flag. And man, I got the flag secondhand from a friend of mine that had gotten out of toys, and got it for $20, dude. The
What?
entire thing complete. And yes, and dude, my mother moved my brother and me into the same bedroom just so we could use one of our bedrooms for the flag. The thing was so massive. Land my Sky Striker on it, attack it with the Night Raven. It was just one of the most memorable toys from my childhood because all my Joes and all my themes came from using the flag right there in the middle of the room. And it was just a blast to have. And I was blessed enough to have it, even more blessed to get it the way I did. But dude, my number one is the USS Flag for real.
Well, I don't have any issues with that. I think the flag is a phenomenal playset. I did not get it till I would say my mid 40s. I didn't get it at a decent price like you got it at. That was a very good decent price. I think the price I got it at was a fairly decent
right?
Price. And mine was, I would say, 98% complete. You got a 100% complete one for $20. You got a deal and a half. But I have one. It's in my other room. I consider it a playset and not a vehicle, but that's perfectly fine if you want to use it as a vehicle. There's nothing wrong with that. I have all my jets and everything on top of it. Actually, my Tomahawk was on top of it when I took that off. So I love that. Flag is awesome. Let's see. 610, hell yeah. He said some mean word there, but I didn't want to repeat it. Wow, cheapest flag ever. Just new 610 choice would be fit the shirt and 20s for a flag. Wow, I know, right? And then Lone Dragon. Biggest I had was the Rolling Thunder. Loved that thing. My brother had the General. Yeah, those are both very big vehicles and stuff, but they both passed me by in the vintage era. I got other stuff, but I did get them as a modern collector. I do have them now, but they just didn't have the nostalgia for me. And that's what it comes down to for this set of series that we're doing. This episode is our nostalgia and where it touches us. And
Right.
So that's where we get to my number one. And my number one vehicle, I touched on it a little bit ago, is the Havoc. And that is my all-time favorite vehicle. And it is cross country and my a vintage
Love it.
box one. It's not the greatest shape, but it is a vintage box one. All the contents, the figure, everything's in here, and it's one of the coolest, most futuristic vehicles of the time. It just blew me away when I was a child. Similar to a 610 Yojo Daddy, where I saw it in the comics, I saw it in the cartoons. I was like, holy cow, now that's futuristic. And I love Cross Country.
Yeah.
I think he's a cool character. It doesn't matter that he's a Southern character. I live in the South now, and it doesn't
That's
bother me.
right.
I have no problems with that at all. He just was a cool guy, and he had fun, and he enjoyed what he did. And this thing with the hovercraft, like you said, with Sergeant Slaughter, with all the cool elements and the cool articulation of the canopy and everything like that, you could do so much with this. It was so playable. It's the most unique futuristic
so
vehicle.
cool.
And because I love the Havoc, I kind of have to do a little bit of a cheat, and I wanted to show off my Sky Patrol Havoc.
Wow, that's cool.
With all that,
I don't think I've ever seen that.
You've never seen the Sky Patrol Havoc?
No, not somebody have it. No.
Oh, because they've got a Raven as well, Sky Patrol Raven, and a Skyhawk or Eagle Hawk as well. So almost all the vehicles from the Sky Patrol are decoed in this VAC metallization that are in your top 10.
Right.
You picked all those vehicles. So all of them you have to get this Sky Patrol versions of, because they are beautiful. I love them. I think they're fantastic.
They are.
To add something this even better makes my Havoc even more awesome. So I don't know if we'll ever get the Sky Patrol versions of these vehicles, but I hope maybe someday, Classified, we will get a Havoc as a HasLab. It needs to happen.
Yes, I'm definitely hoping for a Havoc. Definitely hoping for a Havoc.
So let's see. Same Time Toys. I was just getting figures when the General came out, and my cousins tried to make me jealous when they got their General. Okay. Lone Dragon. I still wanted Classified Mean Dog as 3 separate releases instead of one big buy. I think that's the way you can do that, or the Maggot. Both of those vehicles could be released 3 different ways with 3 different figures. That's the way to do those 2 vehicles if they wanted to, but I don't know if they will or not. What's your take on the Havoc missiles facing backwards? Always love the look, but I wonder what was the purpose. The purpose was because they were defending their flank. So they had the guns and the big cannons in the front facing front. The missiles are to face the flank to protect them, and that's why the hovercraft is also facing the
Gotta
flank.
watch your stick.
Yep, that's exactly right. So I believe that's the reason for that. Let's see. That was that one. Same Time Toys. So awesome, Dave. The Action Force Havoc is awesome as well. Yep, you are right. So let's see. We're technically a little bit over our time, but I'm all right. Are you all right, Lone Dragon? 610 Yojo Daddy?
Yeah, I'm good.
For a few more minutes. So because we're doing another anniversary video, we're going to go and do a Street Fighter opening, and we're going to do Fei Long. I will do this very quickly so we can get this finished and get it out of the way. And so Street Fighter, we've been doing the opening of all the Street Fighter figures with all the anniversary episodes of this series, and we've done Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, and Bison, and Fei Long is the next one. These are very good figures. They're all in scale with Classified. And the fact that they did them as G.I. Joe figures in the 90s, I collected them.
Right.
I have all my vintage Street Fighters from the 90s that I consider them
awesome.
Of the G.I. Joe world and part of the playability of this world. And I like the fact that they did these as like video game boxes, and they're really a very cool set of figures. And so there's Fei Long there with all the lineup of the video game console and the video game console package here as well. Um, and there's a cool like diorama in the inside of this that has Fei Long inside of it. Let's see if I can get this open. So there, take him out of there.
What's up, Shane? Same Time Toys. I just realized he said your name earlier.
Yep. A lot of the guys have been talking and saying hello to you and stuff like that. I haven't been keeping up with the chat as well as I should be because there's been so much stuff we're dealing with here. So there you go. But
yeah, I haven't been watching the chat because I'm having to do it on my phone, so it's a little smaller than usual.
Yeah, it's tricky to try to multitask, but I'm trying to cover as much as I can with it.
Yeah, you good, dude. Doing a great job, brother.
Thank you. Let's see. So what? We'll do a little bit of multitasking here. What do you think of some of the stuff that we've been leaked for next year? There's probably about 30-something things that we know of that have been leaked or have been name only or have been render reveals or showed off, pre-orderable. We've ordered now. We've got, I think, 9 items that we've pre-ordered. And speaking of pre-orders, everybody, make sure you get your orders in for the Arctic Assault Hiss made-to-order scenario. There's only 2 days left. So that's the backdrop.
Yep, time's running out.
Yep, only got a couple days
but
left.
Yeah, I'm very excited for Zanya. I'm a big fan of that. I do believe she'll come with the Swamps gear. I just see that's the way they'll probably play that out, because if they were going to do another Zartan, I don't think they'd be announcing the Ninja Force Zartan, which is another figure I'm really looking forward to. And but they I definitely I can straight up tell you Destro and Despoiler will be coming this year. I have no doubt about it. I've had sources confirm it for a while now, and then more and more people are confirming it as we go. Very excited about that. Would love to see it lead to a Demon HasLab so it can mount on it. But definitely I'm super excited about Ninja Force Zartan because I never had him as a kid, and I want to add him to my Ninja collection. I'm a big Ninja fan, as most of us are.
He's a very unique variation of Zartan. I'll say that. He's not my favorite version of Zartan, but he's definitely a unique version, and it's definitely worth getting.
But yeah, I'm a huge Zartan fan, period. But I never could find him when I was a kid. In the Ninja Force is the reason I didn't have him, or I would have. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I've actually got a 3D printed Swamps gear. A friend of mine, Dave, he does 3D printing, and he did a glow in the dark color change combination on a Chameleon Swamps gear. Nice. And it's really cool and everything. He's over on, if you need to check him out, he's on Facebook at Fort Wadsworth 3D or Fort Wadsworth Motor Pool 3D. Wow. And he does take orders and stuff like that. So, but he does really good work. But I am looking forward to a classified Swamps gear for real, and I do believe that'll come with Anya.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed about that, because I'm like, why out of all the people did they give that vehicle to her when we've already got like 10 Dreadnoks, and they're going to do a deluxe Zanya, maybe to sell that figure. I don't know if maybe that was their thought process behind it. They didn't think Zanya would sell. I think she would have sold regardless, but I just don't. I don't know, because now if you want all the Dreadnoks to be on Swamp Skiers, you have to buy like 10 Zanyas to get that. I don't like that. I think that's a misuse of their power, Hasbro, and they're not treating the fans right. If they were going to do that, they should have just did it as a vehicle by itself and didn't include it with a Dreadnought, or include it with
Right.
all the Dreadnoughts or something.
Or
Just
a generic Dreadnought, you know,
yeah, like
a generic
Billy
Dreadnought.
Bob or Billy Joe or Billy, whatever the guys from the 2000s
Right.
era, those guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Would have been a lot easier to build on that and just include 2 or 3 heads, you know.
Yep, exactly. To put a named character, a key character like her with that, I think that's a little shady on their part, if that's the case. I was hoping that that part that we got leaked was the battle polar bear, because I really want a battle polar bear.
I do too.
So I was hoping that was going to be part of that and not the swamp skier. But
I had a really hard time not putting a polar battle bear in my top 10. I fought with myself on that one because that was an excellent vehicle and I did love it as a child.
I did too, and I love it too. And I have like 5 versions of that, and it's one of my favorite vehicles. But like I said, and you said, this was a hard thing we had to do, is get all this. But this is Fei Long, so he has the same butterflied shoulders, the same double pinned elbows, double pinned knees, thigh and calf articulation, foot rocker, ankle articulation, the crotch, waist, ab crunch, head articulation. He comes with a secondary head. He comes with those fighting hands, and he comes with his effect, his kicking effect. And for the people that are getting Street Fighter JDF figures, these are phenomenal figures, and they fit right in with your G.I. Joes. I've got all mine right over here. They fit perfectly well. I did a comparison, I think, with Quick Kick and somebody, and Chun-Li and Jinx when I showed those off, but they're fantastic. I'm very happy, and I will be showing off the rest of these at some point when we get to other videos, but I can only show them off once in a great while when we do these anniversary special episodes. But I still got about 10 more to get through. I just ordered a couple more before Christmas, but I love them. Street Fighter is really cool. I think the fact that they're part of G.I. Joe, maybe that's why I love them. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the new movie. Looks like it's going to be a cool movie. So let's see what else. So let's see what do we got coming. We've pre-ordered a bunch of stuff already. We've got Night Viper, Big Lob, Lifeline, Morats version 2, Hit and Run, Crazy Legs Vintage Deco, Female Crimson Guard, and Zap Vintage Deco, and the Arctic Assault, his Arctic Driver. Those are all the things we've pre-ordered thus far. We've got renders of the Royal Guard from Cobra La. We've got renders of that 3-pack, Arctic 3-pack with the
Saw Viper and the Night Viper or Drift Viper, my bad,
and the Steel Core.
And the Steel Core.
So that's our renders for those 3, and we got name onlys for Deep Six, Red Dog and Mercer. No, Red Dog and Taurus. Red Dog and Taurus.
Taurus.
Yep. We got the Hydra Viper name only. We got Iceberg name only. We got two little
Ninja Force Zartan.
Ninja Force Zartan, Zanya as well. Name only, both of those. And we got those 2 little things that were clues to items coming in the future. One of them is like a dog or animal like harness type thing. There's a lot of rumors that's could be 2 or 3 things. It could be that Cobra Guy Night Adder with a harness from the modern era, or it could be Dusty version 2 with his Coyote.
Coyote. What is his name?
Sandstorm. Or
Maxim Spearhead.
Or a Baroness with Ravage. Those are the 3 predominant things that people think might be coming in the future. I don't know which one. I think it's going to be Night Owl or Dusty. That's just my gut feeling. And then we got that
I think it could be Max and Spearhead.
Spearhead Max. You're right. It could be them too. That's another one. So that's a fourth one that it could be. So those are all animal and figure companion that we could get in the future.
Right.
And the other one is that little turret, that little whatever you want to call that, mechanical leg or whatever. And we talked a little about that already, where that could go. It's either the swamp skier or the bottle polar bear, one of the two.
Yeah, it's got to be one of the two.
I think we'll get both of those vehicles. It's just I don't know where that clue is going to get to. So then there's that whole list that was on Destro is my spirit animal. All those things like the water moccasin, the shark, the thunder machine, Destro, all these different things, 3-packs and 2-packs. And we also got Chabang, name only dropped. As well, and Deep Six, and the vintage Deep Six too, name only dropped. Are you excited?
I'm hearing that the Chabang will not be coming with Dojo; that it'll be coming with somebody else, and I'm not sure who that is at this point. It would surprise me to see it come with an orange slice, but that whole list, like some of it, kind of throws me a little bit, but. The thing is I know from my sources and probably your sources as well, we can confirm Destro and the Despoiler. So that's one item that's on his list that is true for sure.
And the Arctic 3-pack.
And there's some others. And the Arctic 3-pack, right? Yeah. So, I mean, there are definitely some hits there that the guy has to know a little bit about what he's talking about. You know what I mean? And Destro is my spirit animal. I enjoy his content. But he said, take it with a grain of salt. If we come back a year from now and this all pans out, great, grand, wonderful. If not, oh well, Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see.
Plus, there's a couple other little interesting things. There's going to be a completely new Joe and a completely new Cobra that'll be released this year sometime that Lenny and Tony and them revealed as well on Adventures in Collecting. And there's a couple of clues in that as well. But I think a lot of this stuff I would like to get. The one thing that I don't think we'll get is the Fatal Fluffies. I don't see that either. And if the only way I could see that happening in Classified is if it was like they took it and made it kind of like they did with Crystal Ball and the Gyre, as far as really monstering a Fatal Fluffy up, and I think that would take away from it in a way, but at the same time, it might be really cool. I mean, everything else Classified has given us, it's like we didn't even know we wanted it until we saw it, so I don't know. I think that's a good point because we're going to get into those monsters at some point. The fact that they're doing the Mole Rats stage 2 and they've hinted at stage 3 and 4 of Mole Rats, where will those and what will that technology and what will all that stuff bring us? We would need to do like the Monster Viper, the Toxo Viper. Maybe that's where that Fatal Fluffy will fit in with that theme. Who knows?
Right. Yeah. Can't tell. Can't ever tell with Classified.
No, they surprise us and they keep us on our toes. That's for sure. And some of the experts that claim that they're experts have been wrong before too. So.
Right. Yeah. I mean, even my sources only bats about 95%. Like when he's first to tell you there's stuff I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well,
but I think we're going to. Yeah, I think we're going to definitely finish out the OG-13 in 2026, though, from what my sources say.
So you think we'll get that Flash that was accidentally leaked by Entertainment Earth, and then you think we'll get a short fuse to go with him?
Grand Slam, yeah.
Grand Slam, sorry.
Yeah, no, you good. But yeah, I think we'll get both of them this year.
Yeah, I think so. Bobby. There you go. All right, so we've been on here quite a while for this anniversary special episode.
But
I
it's
want to
been
say
fun, man.
it's been wonderful having your contribution, your help with this top 10 video. You have a lot of cool stuff that I like that you had on your 10, and I'm sure I had a couple things on mine that you like too. And that's the cool thing about this
Yeah,
video.
absolutely.
Everybody has their own thing that they like, and I don't have to poo-poo on you, and you don't have to poo-poo on me. We all come from a different place.
That's right.
That's the awesome thing about the fan base and collecting and being friends, have this community. So thank you very much, 610 Yojo Dad. It's been awesome. I've done a lot
Yes,
of
sir.
talking on this, and I apologize.
That's fine, man. Hey, man, I follow your lead, brother. But hey, I would like to say real quick before I get off, I've got a video coming up that should be pretty big as far as information wise. I had to do a HasLab return, which not many people have had to do. And so I've got the results of the HasLab return, and I'm going to be doing a video here in the next couple of weeks and dropping that. So y'all stay tuned for that. And Dave, man, I just want to thank you for having me on, man. And man, it's been a blast, and this has been a great day. And I wanted to say hey to everybody in the chat. I haven't been able to monitor the chat while I was doing this because I'm doing it from my phone. So if you were saying hey back, and thanks for having me, Dave.
It's been a pleasure. I want to reach out to more of the members of the chat and get this community on here, because it is, I feel that it is a community. It's not, it's very boring to just hear me talk all day long, hear myself talk all day long. But I'd rather see what you guys have to say. I'd rather see what you guys like, because I'm not the end all and be all of this community. 610, My Dog, by Lady Virgo. Cool. I don't know.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Virgo. What's up, girl?
So I think it's awesome, and I want to do that more often. And maybe I'll get a group when we do more group, like when we do the post cons, and then the Yojo June reveals, the San Diego Comic Con reveals. Maybe I can get you and Woody and myself and a couple of the guys to come and do a group video together to go over a lot of this information.
That'd be great.
Like that. I think it would be awesome. So this guy, Lady Virgo Cool says, Roughshod says hello.
What's up, Roughshod?
So I want to say thank you for joining me. Thank you to everybody in the chat, everybody for contributing to this channel and getting us to the 250th episode of this channel, and 200. Now we're going on to 250 subs, but we're moving pretty quickly. The community has been great. You guys have all been great, and that's why I've had Woody and 610 on here. You guys have also been awesome in the chat and been very helpful to me and contributing and giving me information and sharing your thoughts and stuff like that. That's what I do this for. It's for you guys. I want to say thank you to everybody after the fact watching, the replay crew, because you guys also add to the channel and add to this
That's right.
team and community as well. Everybody is wonderful. So this was a big, well, even though we had some Cobra vehicles, we're going to still go with Yojo. So we like to do at the end of these videos, 610 Yojo Daddy. You know how to do this. Yojo!
Yojo!
Thanks, guys, and we will see you next time.